As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Christmas. It's nice to see you. I'm not going to be here as long as we'd probably like, unless we meet the goal. I'll turn the phones on, but I want to get through this because this is something I found today and it blew my mind. It absolutely blew my mind. Many know that we have been looking for Sebastian Waindrake Rogers. Sebastian Waindrake Rogers disappeared when he was 15 years old on February 26, 2024. He has since turned 16. He has missed Halloween. He has missed Thanksgiving. Going back to the days, we learned he wasn't on any security footage, no dog hits, and apparently disappeared from a locked home without shoes, a jacket, or any essential items. No electronics went with him. A lot of weird behavior happened early on in the case. You know, we knew and heard about even the days that first days Sebastian disappeared. The news were told not to film the house. I mean, just weird, bizarre things that we learn about that we as reasonable people say that just doesn't sound right. And since then, it's been a lot of the same thing. But we learned when there were some developments coming on, this is back when all the parents were going on the internet quite frequently, and they were being grilled, whether it was Seth or the mom and the stepfather. They were, no matter where they went, they were answering questions. They were going up there with the knowledge of knowing they're going to be answering questions, and that's what they did. And while we didn't understand why Sebastian Waindrake Rogers was basically being forced from his home, you know, we learned that recently the stepfather approached the dad to take Sebastian, right? We learned that early on. And then recently, rather, we learned that the talks started happening way back on October 2022, which shocked a lot of us because now we know that the mom and stepdad have been working tirelessly to, you know, move him elsewhere because there was things going on in the house. And everybody assumes, this is what I don't like, you know, even the people, even the hate channels, they answer for people. They have a way to contact people and ask them the questions, but they would rather speculate and spin things and put words that it could possibly be instead of just asking the stupid question. But nobody has really asked, why was he being forced from the home? I shouldn't say that. There was asked a few times and nobody wanted to talk about it. Everybody, oh, thank you, Jenna. Everybody believed it was, we were hearing he's hitting puberty. We were hearing on another thing that, I don't go into his room because he's a 15-year-old boy. All these implications that it has to do with some type of, proclivity as developing boys may get, right? Let's be honest, okay? I don't want to say anything. I don't want to offend anybody, but they implied, can we at least agree, a sexual component? If you guys believe that that is really what they were, the narrative that they were pushing as to why he needed to leave the home, put a 1 in the chat. If you believe it was something else, put a 2 in the chat. But it just seems to me that from the beginning, there was like, they wouldn't talk about it, right? They wouldn't explain why he needed to leave. They just, would say things like, well, I didn't go check on him when I heard the thud because, I didn't want to walk in on a 15-year-old boy. You should understand why you'd walk in on a 15-year-old boy. Okay, so some people believe it. Some people believe something else. That's fine. That's fine. But it seems to me that it was always and a lot of people, a lot of channels have picked up this kind of, escape type of theory behind why he had to leave and why Chris did not want his faith around Sebastian, a girl around a boy. A lot of people just automatically assumed that it had to do with him in fear for him touching her or hurting her. That's what I know I have listened to a multitude of channels imply that. Okay, so it was implied, in my opinion. And so I didn't notice this until one of our clip channels. It might have been, I see War Eagle here. It might have been War Eagle's clip from today. It might have been 5Ds. It might have been Hindsight. I watch all of you guys. But there was something, I couldn't figure out which one I watched that I got this clip from. But this clip basically stated that Sebastian really didn't have those interests at all. And I didn't hear it at first. I didn't catch it at first. I don't know if I just didn't listen all the way to the end because it's closer to the end of the interview. I don't remember, but it was on ET's channel and it was at the end of the show. And it was just happened to be clipped on, I want to say it might even have been War Eagle. The Hickey clip. Yes. That's right. It was the Hickey clip. Thank you. It was you. And it was right on the tail end of it. I'm like, did I hear that right? Even though it had nothing to do with what the reason for the clip was, I did a double take. And I'm like, wait a minute. They have been implying that they were concerned for Faith's well-being as to why this stuff, at least these channels were implying on behalf of the mom and stepfather, that there was something we couldn't know about, because if we knew about, we wouldn't want to help find him no more. So I'm going to play the clip for you guys. I'm going to play the clip for you guys, and we're going to have a little discussion. I'm trying to be, and I got to get to that Hickey clip, okay? War Damn Eagle. I'm going to have to get to the Hickey clip because I about fell over. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. It was the hit. Now it's all coming back to me. I'm sorry. I'm a little slow. It's Christmas time. I don't have eggnog, so I don't have an extra little oomph in my tank. You're right. So it was the Hickey clip because somebody asked him about the thumbprint on the neck. And it's like, the comment was it kind of looked like a hickey. The bottom line is what is a hickey? It's a freaking bruise. It's just a bruise that sucked, right? Who would be sucking on that boy's neck when he, they're talking about sending him So I thought we need to go take a little bit. I didn't pull your clip. I couldn't remember whose clip it was. So I had to do some major hunting, by the way, which took me a really long time to find the specific spot to pull this. This is, obviously under fair use, but it's only going to be just a little smidge of a, section of like a freaking 4-hour blessed. How can people talk for 4 hours? I shouldn't say that. I've talked for 9. The real Me Too is a witness to that. Thank you, Melanie. The real Me Too is a witness to that. Okay. All right. Let me put this up. Let's listen to this.
To identify him if we saw him, meaning that it's been 10 months. We know the young man was going through puberty. We know that he had started to get a little facial hair. Are there some things that we can look at physically that may not appear the same as the day he went missing?
Right. Like, is there a cowlick in his hair? Does he have a...
Or maybe that's what I need to do. Hold on. Let me pull that back. Let me find, I don't think that's the right spot for some reason. Hold on. Let me pull it back. Let me go over here and do something real quick and find the right spot. It might be the right spot. I just don't know for a fact because it doesn't seem like what I was hearing. Hold on a second. I thought I found the right spot. Maybe I just didn't hit it in here. Okay, come on. It might be slow because it's taking a long time for it to pull. Probably because it's a 4.5-hour live stream. Do you remember where it was? Actually, now that I know it's you, let me just go over to your channel. That'll be easier. I can't believe. Oh. I don't even have your channel. Why is you coming up in my stuff? Oh, because I forgot to put War Damn Eagle. Hold on. Let me put War Damn Eagle. I still can't find you. Oh, good gracious. Hold on a second. I'm going to have to find it in this video, but I think I'm getting close to it. There we go. There. Never mind. I got it. Okay. This is where it starts saying, and I'm pretty sure this is it.
Because honestly, if you look at that photo, it looks like it's a hickey.
It's right here.
It's what it looks like. And I'm not saying that's what it is.
Right.
But it's like, what in the world? I didn't notice until somebody pointed something out about it. And I'm not going to speak on something I don't know anything about.
Now, did he have any little girlfriends? Because, I mean, let's be honest, at 15, we could get picky.
Or boyfriends. That's don't be,
Not,
it is what it is.
I apologize.
Not that we are aware of.
Okay.
Sebastian didn't show the interest.
Didn't show the interest. Wouldn't that imply to you, if he didn't show the interest, that component would most likely not be there? Who's in here starting to hate? We have a zero tolerance policy. You can debate the issues, but not the people. I haven't seen anything too bad, but we don't ask personal questions even if the father is in here. He's not in here for a Spanish Inquisition. So just FYI. So now we know right then and there that he has none of these interests, none of these proclivities. We've been told for months by the channels closest to this family that there's this underlying issue. And if we knew what was going on, we would understand why he can't be around her. Yet again, constantly implying this undertone that, and even stating that he was abused prior to, maybe he's showing these things. Maybe it has something to do with, his prior abuse, all these things. And now we're finding out from his stepfather, he didn't show those interests. He didn't show those interests. Neither one way or the other, it sounds like, because even E.T. brought up, boys or girls. And he said he didn't show those interests. But when he's on Smiley's World, the reason why they don't go in there is because of these interests he supposedly doesn't have. And those were the explanations as to why she couldn't go in there and check on him when she heard a thud.
Ask you, the night, Sunday night, when you said there was a noise, what type of noise do you think that was that you heard?
I'm not honestly sure. It sounded like he was messing with stuff in his room, which was not uncommon, which is why I said, hey, I don't know what you're doing in there, but you're supposed to go to sleep.
Okay. So you didn't check on him at that time, but did you check on him at midnight? Did you flip the light on and look to see if he was in the bed at midnight when you got up to go to bed?
No, and because I didn't have any reason to. You know, when he was little, I used to check on him all the time, but he's older now and he's 15, and y'all can figure out why a mother may not want to necessarily pop into a teenage boy's room unexpectedly.
But he had none of those interests. He had none of those interests. So how can he have those interests and that be the reason, or not have those interests and that be the reasons why you don't go into a child's room? So if you guys don't like other people's comments, just you can go up to their little emoji, the little circle next to their name, and just block them. You guys can individually block people if you don't like their comments. And if I catch their comments and they frustrate me, I'll block them permanently. So that's sick thought by them. I don't know by who. So that is kind of the crux of everything that I am talking about, because for the longest time, we've had this belief that Sebastian was doing inappropriate things. You know, those type of inappropriate things. So what say you? Now that you know that he didn't have those types of interests, it kind of changes the entire dynamics of what we were led to believe with, we don't really want to discuss it. Leaving it to everybody's I blocked her. Okay, perfect. Leaving it to everybody's, imagination as to what it could be. So, he wasn't hurting anyone. I just wanted to make that clear. As implied by a lot of creators on this platform. And it was wrong to imply it. And here we find out it didn't sound like he had any interest like that at all. It sounds like he was still trying to be a kid. Which then brings me all the way back to one, why this child was in so much trouble all the time. And two, back to what War Eagle snagged about the bruise on his neck, which we've discussed on this channel because we wanted to make sure that it wasn't dismissed for shadows. So we discussed shadowing in photos, and you could see where the direction of the light, how the angle was coming down on him, where the shadow from the light was coming from. And this was a different color, a yellowish brown. How did a child get what appeared to be a thumbprint, not a hickey, but what appeared to be a thumbprint right on the child's Adam apple on the Saturday, February 24th photo? A day before his last meal that anybody knows about. And the stepfather says that he has no interests, but it looks like a hickey. I'm sorry, but when I've come home with a hickey on my neck, my mom about skinned my rear end alive. And it was a very noticeable hickey. And it sounds to me that if he came home with a hickey, as much as they communicate and are on the phone with each other, including but not limited to inside the Texas Roadhouse, snagging shots, unbeknownst to Sebastian, and allegedly sending them to the stepfather, right? So it would be surprising to me, with all the great communication that these two have, that if her son came home with a hickey on his freaking neck from school, which would be the only place he would get it, I would have to assume that we would have one hot mama wondering how her son is out of the care of the teachers long enough to get a hickey on his neck. So how, with all this great communication and them being at dinner and her sending photos back and forth with the stepfather, how did he not know how a hickey or whatever showed up on his neck? And how would a mom that's in the Navy and works for a security system not notice something like that staring her right in her face? It would seem like something that she would talk to her significant other about, no? Hey, Cheeky Chops. Almost there. Almost there. So what do you guys think about this? I mean, didn't you guys feel like there was this subtle underlying, I don't know, S-tone when it came to him and why he needed to leave the house? That, to me, I've thought that was always implied, even though I never knew the reason. It always seemed like that's the reason they were implying, because they didn't want him around Faith. She wouldn't go into his room for, to check on him when she heard a thud. I mean, there was this undertone. I'm sorry, there just was. So much so that people even had come at the very beginning of the case and said, well, maybe he made, and as hard as this is to sound, this is a trigger warning, and I'm sorry, but this is what happened. And people know that it's true because they saw it in chats, if you guys are following the case back then. But they were implying that there was a possibility of him making a move on his mom. Now, of course, we've never ran with that story, but it doesn't change the fact that some of those theories were sent to me, right? So we have those types of theories. We have people implying this. We have mom on interviews saying this. And then we come to find out 10 months later, he didn't have any interest one way or another. That removes that from the table as to reasons why he had to leave and couldn't be around his stepsister. So now what is the real reason? What would the real reason for him having to leave the house? I do not believe that Hay belongs to that woman, in my opinion. I don't believe that's his mom. Well, it's his mom. I saw a picture. I saw receipts. I saw receipts. She shouldn't be, but I saw receipts, allegedly, and in my opinion. CP might have, but I think there was a misspelling. Usually I can read misspelling, so my writing's horrible, but I can't figure out what the missing word is, though. And that's for Tina. Jesus, my son would never. Well, I know, but Gypsy Doll, even though it was what was circulating. There were people that were putting it in chats. There were people discussing it. People had live shows putting that out as a theory. Oh boy, that's really rough thought. Yeah, I hate liar channels. Yeah. There seemed to be a strong insinuation months earlier. Yes. In joy in life. That is exactly right. Cinderella says, yes, I really thought that too. In my opinion, Sebastian is almost always at Seth when F is there. What the hell? Always at Seth when F is there. Who's F? Or was that a mistype? I wonder if they thought something happened between the nieces. But but see, Bobby, even that, if he didn't have an interest and didn't show an interest, he thought Taylor Swift was, he had a crush on Taylor Swift, but with a minor intellect, a kid his age may kiss a poster or something, or think she's good looking, but they don't know past that. I just feel like we've been looking at this angle. There's another reason. And I don't know, now that this has come out, what would really be a true reason if he wasn't a harm to himself or people around him? Why would he need to leave? And why was there so much hostility inside that home that required five visits from the Department of Children and Family Services? Thank you, Justice Jane. Always reminding us, missing 301 days in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Sebastian Rogers, Caucasian, 15-year-old when he went missing. He's now 16, 5'5", 120 pounds with brown hair. Last seen on February 26 with black long sleeve shirt and black pants, barefoot, keychain. And the reward is now up to $250,000. So just thank you for always keeping them. Thank you for all the people that have lit it up green. Yaya says, I think they are going to make up anything that keeps their arses out of the sling and make them not look so bad. Well, I guess now we know why the unscrupulous PI was hired to run interference and give horrible. I mean, this stuff is, the reports are so bad. The photos are so bad that mob squad. I mean, Jennifer Coffindaffer was just talking about, was it the mob squad or something like that? Isn't that what his name is? Anyways, I went and watched him and watched his overlay, and he was heck of a lot more. Hella. A lot more accurate. Oh, hi. I wasn't calling you, I promise. Delilah came running. If I knew that the bullhorn button got the dog over here, well, heck, maybe I need to take it out when she's out in the front yard. Hi, sweet pea. Come here. Yeah, here she is. There's the crime-fighting Delilah. If you guys haven't met her yet, this is my puppy. This is my little puppy right here. She's so cute and she loves everybody, except bad guys. And then she takes a bite out of crime, which is their butts. This was just really, really bad. And I think a lot of people in their back of their mind thought the worst of what was going on. And, when we're finding out more and more about these parents, it's kind of hard. And not only that, but E.T., he let some things off of his chest that really show us how much he's kind of questioning everything as well. So I think we should really take consideration of this new information. I mean, think about all the stuff that has broke here recently. We have inside the Texas Roadhouse. We learned of the 5 CPS reports. We learned of the mom and stepdad gunning to get Sebastian out of their home since October of 2022. We have an unscrupulous PI putting out horrible reports on findings that don't bode with the actual factual information. And we've got the truck and the possibility of the truck being in the area. And the audacity of CP telling ET that didn't he say something like the dumb SOBs don't even know it's my truck or something like that about the investigators? Like, who would ever talk like that to anybody in a situation like this? And I have to believe E.T. I don't know who he is. He could be lying for all I know. But he seemed, I don't know, he seemed very concerned in just my opinion. Now, I can't say that he was one way or another, all I can say is he didn't seem like he was happy doing whatever he was doing, which means that he was probably pushed a little too far, or, not told something when he wanted to know an answer to something, or felt like he was being left out. I don't know. Poker game, something. What does this say? This chat's going too fast. Poker game, something with a laptop, then bruises on his neck. CP took off to Memphis just to come back and do something with him before it's seen at school. Can't explain those bruises away to CPS. Well, to be honest with you, when I looked at that bruise on his neck, that wasn't something that happened within 24 hours. I'll tell you that, because it was already turning brown and yellowish. That tells me that it's, at least a few days old. But it leads, and that would have been, I don't think that would have been this alleged poker. We haven't even been able to corroborate the alleged poker. It is starting that it's possible that it could make a little more sense. We heard that there's a possibility of a 4-day weekend that the stepfather had. From my understanding, that's never been corroborated. And if it's not corroborated, we can't really apply it to anything until it's found out whether he did or not. But he's saying he didn't. And we've got, some people. So I think that's being looked into, if I'm not mistaken. But Open Mind says, missing Kyron Horman, Sebastian Rogers looks 15. There are people who do not look their age. It's an amazing gift. Did you see the birth certificate? On which one? On which one? I trust Sebastian's father. I do trust him, and I don't know if you're talking about what is it, Kyron or Sebastian, but I believe he's 16 years old. I trust his daddy. So didn't he give? Didn't he have school Friday, or were they out? No. He went to school on Friday. He went to school on Friday because I remember he talked to his dad on Thursday. He went to school on Friday. I received a message from a friend of a friend that said he wasn't himself that Friday. And then, Saturday was the picture at Costco's where he was eating the pizza in the Optimism shirt. And then Sunday is the 25th, which we know as much as we're going to know about that day. And then, of course, the 26th is when he was reported missing and the cavalry came in. So he did have school that Friday. I remember that, and I remember he did go to school. I believe Team Sebastian, he wants whoever is responsible, and Sebastian found, in my opinion. Well, I hope so. That's really the only requirement is people here for the right reasons, but when you're attacking an innocent father, there's no honor in that, Seth has gone out of his way in all fairness to prove to the world that he's an innocent dad. He's taken a public polygraph test. He's done it from the Nancy Grace show. He had that publicized. He used an FBI trained administrator. He produced his work records. I mean, anything you've asked of this man, and he's went through hell and back, quite frankly, just to keep his son's name alive. Everybody has. And the people that are truly here trying to bring answers and bring him home are being attacked relentlessly. And when you trace them back, it seems to always be coming from one side of the aisle. And I find that awfully funny. And when you look back to the beginning of this case, it only seemed to be coming from one side of the flipping aisle. So I don't want to hear people saying we picked sides. We didn't pick sides. Somebody chose that there was going to be sides by constantly threatening people that were there just to help. You're either here to help or you're not. Those are the sides, in my opinion. The court case, CPS pending report, Sebastian was supposed to appear in court too, in my opinion. Was that ever confirmed? I remember somebody saying something, but I never saw it. I think it was somebody in my chat said he was on a witness list. But I kept trying to figure out who would have the witness list, But I realized that the court case was open to the public up until it got shut down because of this particular case. So I guess we only have a docket that you can see. But I don't know if the actual document itself, the witness list, would be available for public preview. So I'm curious how anybody would truly, if it's out there, it's out there. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, but I'm just trying to logically think about this because sometimes those witness lists aren't available to the public, especially typically in family court. Betty, do you think he was, no, Honeycomb, I do not. That's the furthest thing on my totem pole. Maybe with a different family, with a different, past and background of the family, it could be a possibility. But in a particular situation like this, I don't think it's anything's possible. But the probability for this particular case, I don't see it being a good probability. I wonder if his teachers noticed the bruise and report was written and vanished before the fall. I don't know. Come on. If you're getting up here, come on. I think she needs to go potty because she's just looking at me and just whimpering a little bit. So you guys are just going to have to bear with me. Where are we on time? Merry Christmas, everybody here. Thank you, Open Mind. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. Thank you for the wishes, the well wishes for everybody. Listen to Seth when he talks about Sebastian. Compare that to CP and KP. It says it all. Oh, and not only that, like Jen Coffindaffer tonight was talking about the teachers, right? And she says, I don't know if there's any interviews on the teachers. And I remember I just did a show and we brought the teachers interview in. I don't know if you guys were here for that. So I kind of had it. I remember it and I remembered where it was. So I sent that over to her. And I remember it was just tonight, just before this live. And I said something like to the effect of, you could tell these teachers really cared for Sebastian and were very proud of him, and something like, they speak much differently than his mom and stepdad do. Because every time you have an opportunity for them to say something positive, like a positive or negative, they always start out, not even positive or negative, but whenever you ask them about them, it's like, it's always things that irritate both of them. Like he invades your personal space, he uses he enjoys using the right. It's just, it's awful. I mean, it's awful. This boy is gone. Nobody knows where he is. And that's his legacy when it comes to his mom and stepdad when describing him. Oh, by the way, we're proud of him because he plays chess really well. He can beat a grown man at chess. That's literally the only thing that you have ever heard his stepfather ever say in a very proud voice. And he has to say grown men. It's just, you can tell how his mom and stepfather look at him by the way they speak of him. And then you look and listen to his teachers, and they talk so wonderful about Sebastian. They are so sweet. Every time you talk to his dad, he talks about wonderful things, wonderful memories with Sebastian. We don't get that from everybody telling this story. And you can't tell me we do, because we don't. Thank you. Let me go and check if we've met our goal. Because then I'd like to, if we have, I'm going to go ahead and turn the phones on now. Because give me just a second. I should have it already open. So right now we have 700. Oh, hold on. Let it catch up real quick. 800. Still moving. Hold on. Okay. So why was Sebastian being forced from his home? SA tendencies because CP didn't like him, or something else unknown in 63% out of almost 900 votes. And we'll end it here, over 900 votes now that are tallying in. 63% believe it was simply because CP did not like him. We have not met our goal. Oh, Althea said hi. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Thank you. Thank you for all you're doing, BHB. Thank you for being a member for 3 months. God bless you, my love. God bless you. All right. So we didn't reach our goal. I'm drinking Dr. Pepper too. It's funny. I'm going to go through the sponsors of this show right now. We didn't reach our goal, but maybe next time. I appreciate everybody coming in. I just wanted to share that with you. And for those that are coming in late, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that we were led to believe, and it seemed implied on a lot of people's shows, that one of the reasons why Sebastian they were trying to rehome Sebastian is because of this underlying something that if we knew, we wouldn't support Sebastian anymore type of thing, implying that he couldn't be around Faith. And the mom stating on another platform that, she didn't go check on him because whenever she heard the thud, because if she had, she could walk in on him, he's a 15-year-old boy. And then on ET's channel, when he just went live most recently, states he had no interests like that at all, making it hard for him to be this S-deviant or someone that's going to SA his little stepsister, which is what was being kind of peddled out there on the ether. So there's some other reason why he was being kicked out of his home. So what was that reason? And 60 some odd % of you guys believe it's just simply because Chris did not like him. And that very well may be true. Thank you for becoming the newest member of this crazy crew we call the Coffee Club, the IE, the Insane Asylum. Merry Christmas to you and Delilah, and thank you for all you do. Merry Christmas to you and Delilah. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, SPED Titcher. I appreciate that. God bless you. God bless you. Althea, it says, thank you for all you do. You're doing, BHB. I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Thank you. Thank you. Our beautiful gypsy. Aw, thank you. Thank you for being a bullhorn for those who have no voice. I will always say, aw, thank you. Thank you. That makes, aw, I love you too, honey. Gina, thank you so much. Althea, thank you so much. We have Be Great saying, happy holidays. You're the best at BHB. Thank you so much. Melanie. Gina, thank you. Thank you. Eeyore spending money to tell me she's drinking Dr. Pepper. It's either Dr. Pepper or Cherry Coke Zero. For those that have to know my life, there you go, okay? Or bottled water. And I just got these new little Skittle water. Oh, my gosh. Some good stuff. Only 10 calories per bottle. I love it. 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 Althea, oh, thank you. 3-month member. Oh, Holly gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. If you received your gifted Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Holly thank you. Misty Moonlight, thank you so much. She said, thank you so much for all you do. Merry Christmas. Love you, BHB. I love you too. Thank you so much. Ginger is saying Merry Christmas, BHB. And Delilah Bleen, love y'all. And Ashley is saying Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to every single person in the chat. And before we leave, I will play those 2 clips again. Give me just a second. Let me try to get it back. I think it was right about there. Let me pull this one up. You'll hear it on this one first, and then we'll go to the second one. I think I got it back far enough.
Now, did he have any little girlfriends? Because, I mean, let's be honest, at 15, we could get picky.
Or boyfriends. That's don't be,
Girlfriends or boyfriends. Let's listen to what Chris says.
somebody pointed something out about it. And I'm not going to speak on something I don't know anything about.
Now, did he have any little girlfriends? Because, I mean, let's be honest, at 15, we could get picky.
Or boyfriends. That's don't be,
Not,
it is what
I
it is.
apologize.
Not that we are aware of.
Okay.
Sebastian didn't show the interest.
Didn't show the interest. Yet, on Smiley's world, the reason why Mommy didn't go into the room is because of these interests he doesn't have.
At midnight when you got up to go to bed.
No, and because I didn't have any reason to. You know, when he was little, I used to check on him all the time, but he's older now and he's 15, and y'all can figure out why a mother may not want to necessarily pop into a teenage boy's room unexpectedly.
Oh, unexpectedly. Does not sound like he has the interest, but that was her excuse for not popping into the room. Saucy says neither of them have done anything but belittle that child and scream from the rooftops how great parents they are. I hope they have pull-ups in prison. Saucy is being saucy. Saucy is being saucy. All right, guys, thank you for coming by my show. If you have not sobbed up, I'm Bullhorn Betty, and we cover true crime here. We've been covering and taking a deep dive into the Sebastian Rogers case with a lot of other great creators that are really trying to support Seth Rogers and help him and aid him and have the goal of bringing his son home. And our goal is to bring his son home by Christmas. We have a lot of work to do. So the best thing that each and every one of you can do for this child right now is pray. Pray that he's found. Pray that he is going to come home to his family. That is the best thing that we can do. God can move mountains, in my opinion. If you don't believe in God, maybe your higher spiritual power that you do believe in, whatever you do believe in, we can use all hands on deck for this child. And that's really my mess. Oh, thank you, Shellbell. God bless you. And that really is my message. Love you, Betty and Delilah. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas and stay safe and Happy New Year. Thank you for your advocacy to true crime and the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. I hope Seth has some much needed relief very soon. Amen to that. Amen to that. But that is exactly what we can do as a group. Aw, Jason, it's nice to see you, my love. I watched your TikTok. My heart broke for you. If you ever need anything, I don't know what you're going through, but if you ever need a shoulder to cry on, you got my number, honey. I'm so sorry. I hope things are looking brighter for you. Merry Christmas, my love. Merry Christmas. Aw, thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. So you guys rock it out with your coffee beans out. God bless each and every one of you. Tomorrow, because of Shell, is it Shell? I don't know if it's Shell Bell today or not. I keep thinking it's Mickey Shell. Shell Bell. Thank you. We will open up the phone lines on Christmas Eve. Let's make it a truly positive Christmas Eve. For those that have not and want to participate and you're all alone this year, there's nothing that's going to change the suckiness of buying your own gift. I bought my own gift today. I still have to wrap it. It's going to be ready for Christmas Day. For all of my lonely family out there in the YouTube world, that's all by themselves, to come and open your gift, have some coffee with me, have some Christmas cheer. First morning, right? 9 a.m. Everybody should be up. Get you guys some eggnog or coffee or something and come hang out with Bullhorn Betty on Christmas morning, 9 a.m., where we open our gift together. So I love you guys. Take it easy. Merry Christmas. Happy holiday. And just be nice, right? Be nice. God bless. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.